I was born July 8th, 1945.
Bernice Gutierrez began life in the small, dusty town of Carrizozo, just 35 miles from the Trinity test site.
8 days later, they detonated the first atomic bomb anywhere in the world.
Bernice claims it was also the beginning of a tragic legacy for her family.
Everything in red are relatives that have had cancer.
Bernice has documented more than 4 dozen cases of rare diseases and cancers in her immediate family, who lived and died in the shadow of Trinity.
It's an extensive list.
Her mother had 3 kinds of cancer. Bernice's husband had colon cancer. Their daughter, thyroid cancer. And Bernice had precancerous growths on her thyroid, too.
So I removed it.
Most of Bernice's family survived. 11 did not, including Bernice's son, who was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer in 2019.
On June 3rd, 2020, he passed away.
Like many in New Mexico, Bernice blames the death, disease, and cancer on fallout from the world's first nuclear blast.
You have no doubt that all of this death and cancer in your own family is tied back to Trinity.
None. There is no doubt.
This simple obelisk marks ground zero for Trinity, where Robert Oppenheimer's nuclear bomb detonated 78 years ago, triggering a blast that burned 10,000 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Its mushroom cloud lifting 75,000 feet into the air, and then raining down radioactive ash and debris, including plutonium, on New Mexico for days.
Look at that.
Surrounding the Trinity site, the ground is littered with little pieces of trinitite, a glassy mineral formed when sand melted in the nuclear inferno. It's banned from being removed, in part because it's still radioactive. But at a nearby rock shop, trinitite collected from the Trinity site before the ban is for sale. The owner pulls out a Geiger counter to prove the trinitite is radioactive.
Yeah, it seems like the sandier the pieces, the hotter they are.
Tests reveal trinitite is riddled with plutonium, which, if inhaled, is likely to cause serious illnesses and cancers. In an ancient lava field near Carrizozo, Dr. Michael Ketterer, a professor emeritus at Northern Arizona University, is busy collecting samples.
All of this is dust that's come in from the wind.
Perfect to check for the presence of plutonium from Trinity.
My worry is the content of plutonium in the dusts that people are regularly exposed to here.
While the government doesn't dispute Trinity's plume did fall on New Mexico, it contends, as this map shows, the fallout was limited to only a portion of the state. In July, Dr. Ketterer published this report, announcing he discovered trace amounts of plutonium from the Trinity blast beyond the zone in the government's map.
That to me says that the actual plume is much broader. That's why more widespread.
From 1951 to 1958, 100 nuclear bombs were detonated in the skies over Nevada. Under the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, or RECA, more than 25,000 people in Arizona, Nevada, and Utah have received more than $1.2 billion. The people of New Mexico were left out of RECA.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No recognition, no acknowledgement, no assistance whatsoever.
Tina Cordova, a cancer survivor who co-founded the Tularosa Basin Downwinders Consortium, has documented more than 1,000 cases of cancer that she says are connected to Trinity. For more than a dozen years, she's led the push to compensate the people of New Mexico.
It hasn't been easy.
On July 27th, the U.S. Senate overwhelmingly passed an amendment to extend RECA coverage to the people of New Mexico, with payments up to $150,000 for each victim of radiation exposure.
I believe the Senate has done the right thing.
But the House still needs to agree. And until it does, there is no guarantee that people like Bernice Gutierrez and her family will ever be compensated after paying a high price, they say, for living in the fallout from a bomb that changed the world.
We deserve some justice.
Dwayne Pullman, Local 12 News.
Hey there. Yeah, you could stop watching right now, but let's be honest, you don't want to do that. Hit the links or click subscribe to see more amazing content from all of us here at Local 12.